Hey guys, have you noticed that the one-handed backhand is making a big comeback? So today I've got a very exciting video for you. I'm going to give you a 5-step checklist on how you can hit a perfect modern one-hander. So let's get started. Okay, so checkpoint number one. One thing that's changed that you might have to change if you want to hit like the pros are today is your grip. Now, a little more old school, people were not as aggressive with their knuckles on the grip, and so they'd get back here and they'd hit the ball a little more flat, kind of like Johnny Mack, or that they would chip most of their backhands and then occasionally be able to flatten the backhand out but have very little topspin on it. Well, now you can see that the pros, especially like Dennis Shapovalov, Stan Wawrinka, they really hit a heavy backhand. It's got a good amount of action on it, and that's because they're holding the racket in a much more aggressive grip. If you've watched my videos before, you know I like to call it the motorcycle grip. So that's step one. That's holding the racket with the knuckles up. You also want to spread your fingers apart, and so when you're hitting, you can be in a very aggressive position there to hit the ball and then through. So step number one is getting that motorcycle grip. The next step that you want to do is make sure that you get yourself into a power position on your unit turn right away. So as you watch these players come, when they get ready, they're holding that racket face upward, okay? Pretty much upward towards the sky or the slight tilt on it, but the racket head, the handle is going to be much higher than the wrist. Where, again, watching some old school tennis, you might see the wrist pretty much be even with the handle as they come through, all right? Well, not today. Pretty much every pro, like Federer, Wawrinka, Dennis Shapovalov, they're having that racket tip up when they get ready to step in and hit that ball. So that's step number two. You want to get there as soon as possible. So as soon as you see that ball hit off your opponent's racket, you want to get to that unit turn. Really feel that shoulder pull towards your opponent. You're going to feel a lot of power coming from there. You're waiting, and then that's going to put us into step number three. Okay, so step number three is a big one. I'll be back to show you that. Now, I think step number three, a lot of players miss out on or don't think about, but if you watch the best players in the world, they are doing this. They're in this power position, and then as they get ready to hit, that racket comes back and is actually facing towards the fence as they get ready to come forward. So you're going to see something like this. They're here, and as they start to commit forward, they go into the racket drop like this, to where you can start to see the racket face facing towards the back fence, and that's going to give them some extra power coming through the shot. So that's checkpoint number three. We've got two more. So checkpoint number four is the contact point. I think more than any other shot, it's hard to get away with late hitting on a one-handed backhand. You know, if you're hitting a two-hander, you can kind of use that offhand if you're a little late to get by it. I mean, certainly on the one-hander you can flick and it can be done, and Federer does it, but it takes a lot of talent. Same thing on the forehand. You can notice people hitting late, like Steffi Graf and Rafael Nadal. You could argue that they almost have a little bit of a late timing, and it works out beautifully for them. Where if you watch the best one-handers in the world, they all tend to be out in front, because if you're late with a one-hander, look where the racket is. It's almost impossible to keep it in the court. You need that thing to come around and be out in front. So that's one thing you really want to focus on, is going to the ball. The one-hander can be very intimidating. You can tend to back up. I mean, I've fallen prey to this myself, to where you want as much time as possible. What you got to do is you got to force the mind to go out and to the ball, to where you see it. Again, you're in that position, you get your turn, you bring the racket back here, and then as you go to hit, you're nice and out in front. Look how that's nice out front of the foot. That's going to be a nice solid contact, and that's going to allow you to swing freely and get us to checkpoint number five, which is huge. Okay, so checkpoint number five, there's actually three parts to this. Number one is, I call it the Fed puff. So this is going to keep you from opening up, because so many people fall apart right at the last second, because it does take a little more, I think, strength and coordination to get the one-hander down. So many people, when they're getting ready to hit, they're going to hit, and then they start to open up like this too early. Ball starts to spray. They have no control. What you'll notice that Federer does is he really holds that for a long time with his chest. His chest almost appears to puff out. I call it the Fed puff. And then he comes through, and then eventually you're going to see him start to open up and square up to the court. So that's one thing you can focus on, is even after that ball is gone, you're keeping your chest to the fence. That's what I want you to focus on right there. The other part is I want you to focus on your counterbalance. You're going to notice that the arms go in complete opposite directions. Again, this is going to help you from opening it up. This is going to kind of help that Fed puff. Is this back arm kind of holds you back and holds you in position if you push it away from you and out. All right, so don't just let this kind of die. You see a lot of people hit and it just kind of dies and they hit through and they're just kind of swinging like this, where you notice the best players in the world, they have this very elegant looking follow through to where they're right there when they're done, this back arm going back. Now along with it, the follow through has kind of a magic trick. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to put a piece of tape right here on the top of the racket. And when you are done following through, it's going to actually turn over and be the bottom of the racket. This is going to give you a little extra spin. Stan Wawrinka especially does this on his one-hander, where lots of people don't have much spin. That doesn't happen. So if we put the tape right here at the top and it doesn't happen, we're here, we're going, and we're done, and then the tape hasn't moved, right? But if you want to get that extra top spin on the ball, you're going to see again, they're here, they get into that side-on position, the racket faces up, they come back here, they hit out in front, and then they're going to relax through, and now all of a sudden that tape is on the bottom of the racket. That's going to help you get extra rolling shots, especially if you want to hit like a roller passing shot or hit a deep heavy ball that's high over the net that kicks up at your opponent. You're going to want that, okay? So one more time, here's the demo. We're going to put the tape again right on the top of the frame. We get set, we're here, we got the racket frame up, and then we're going to drop, hit, through, counterbalance out, and turn over to get that awesome modern one-hander. So if you like that video, I got something really cool for you, because that video alone might be able to take your backhand to the next level. But I'm into getting your entire game to the next level. So if you're a 3-0 and you want to get to a 3-5, you're a 3-5, you want to get to a 4-0, 4-0, 4-5, 4-5 and beyond, I got a cool 8-part free training series for you right now. I'm going to play a preview, so watch it. You're going to love it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What's your biggest challenge on the one-hander? Comment below, and I'll try and give you a little bit of advice on fixing it. Hey guys, Pete from Crunch Time Coaching. Today we've got a really cool lesson for you. We're going to teach you the super spinner boomerang drop shot. Okay guys, I gotta be honest with you. Learning the super spinner boomerang drop shot is not gonna get your game to the next level in the next 12 months. And my job as your tennis coach is to help you consistently get better, see the progress, grow in your tennis game. So what we're gonna do today is a little different. We're gonna put down the racket, we're gonna put down the balls, we're gonna leave the tennis court, and we're gonna head on over to my house, and I'm gonna show you exactly step by step the pitfalls to avoid and what you really need to be doing over the next 12 months if you want to see your game go up to the next level. So come on, let's go.